Thank you so much for clicking on the video, and I hope everyone is doing really well. Today, I'm going to be talking about something that goes hand in hand with an eating disorder, and that is an obsession or an addiction to exercise. This obsession can lead to compulsive and over-exercising. When an eating disorder develops, there is suddenly this weird drive and motivation to exercise to the point where there feels like there's no end in sight to the exercise. You just feel like you have to exercise. Before, there was probably a very normal mindset and approach to exercise, but with the eating disorder, suddenly we feel that we need to earn our food. Or at the very least, we feel we have to burn off every single calorie that we've ever consumed. Something that is intended to be good for us, i.e. exercise, suddenly becomes a chore and a punishment. A lot of people who don't actually enjoy exercising and working out is like the last thing they'd ever want to do. When an eating disorder develops, suddenly they feel they have to work out. They feel they must engage in intense exercise to reach perfection and to become something that they feel they're supposed to be, or they're trying to fill a void in their life that an emptiness that's in them. They're trying to fill it with something. And exercise is one of those things that they feel they should feel satisfied after doing it, or they should feel like they've accomplished something. But because exercise is suddenly self-punishment, they never actually achieve their goals and they never feel good about themselves, even when they've exercised for hours. In order to counter this side of the eating disorder, you must be able to turn exercise back into what it's intended for. And what it's intended for is to better your life, to make you feel better about yourself, to make you feel good, to live a healthy and balanced life. For a while, I felt like people expect you to give up exercise when you choose to recover from an eating disorder. However, I believe recovery is about taking unhealthy bad habits and turning them back in on themselves, creating something good from those bad habits, creating healthy habits, habits that can sustain you and that are sustainable for the rest of your life. Balanced eating and an appropriate amount of exercise should work together to help a person recover and to improve their lives and to become the best version of themselves. So I have a few tips and ideas that might be able to help you as you journey through recovery. You have to learn to recognize the voice of the eating disorder. Separate yourself. You are one entity, and the eating disorder is separate from you. Recognize its voice and then start to listen to your own voice, because more chances than not, the eating disorder is going to be saying very opposing ideas to what you know is logically correct. And it's very hard to ignore the eating disorder's voice, but when you learn to separate your voice from its voice, you can suddenly do the opposite of what it tells you to do. The eating disorder is going to try and push you, kind of push your buttons and try to make you do very intense exercises. Exercise when maybe you've exercised enough, and it could push you to get really injured, and it could push you to very unhealthy levels of exercise. Something that I've started doing, and I think I've mentioned it before, is when I'm working out, and usually I tell myself I'm going to work out for an hour every day. That's kind of my time limit. And whatever I want to get done, I have to get done within that hour and within reason. Sometimes I reach the hour mark and I have this feeling inside of me like I could go for 15 more minutes, or I could do a few more reps on this one exercise. And I have to stop, take a moment and think to myself, is this me saying I can do it, or is it the eating disorder telling me I have to do it? If it turns out that it's actually the eating disorder telling me to do these things, I immediately, once that 1 hour, or even before that 1 hour, I just cut it off and I say, that's good enough for today. I'm fine. I don't have to earn anything. I don't have to prove anything. Doing that extra thing or that extra few minutes is not going to make me perfect. It's not going to make me happy. What's going to make me happy is listening to myself and believing that I have my best interest at heart and the eating disorder does not. You should never feel like you have to do anything. Exercise is a choice. What type of exercise you choose to engage in is a choice. How much you do is a choice, and it should be up to you. You should never feel like it's a requirement, it's demanded of you. You should not use exercise as a way to punish yourself. Use it for what it is intended for, and that is to make you feel good and to be healthy and to live a balanced life. Remind yourself that working out is something that you enjoy. But only remind yourself if working out is something you enjoy. If you absolutely hate working out, maybe you're doing the wrong types of working out. Maybe there is something you've never thought of or never tried before, and maybe that is something you'll enjoy. Really explore all the types of exercise that are out there and find the ones that you really enjoy. At the end of the day, it is for your enjoyment. It is not a means to earn your food, to get skinny, to burn off fat or the bad foods that you ate. And it is certainly not a means for perfection. Just like food is merely fuel to keep us alive, exercise is an important part of a balanced life. For a long time, I felt like cardio was the only type of exercise that I was allowed to do or that I was supposed to do. Cardio burns a lot of calories, and burning calories is what you need to be skinny, skinny, skinny. But when I really thought about it, I really don't like cardio. I'm a very lazy person, and cardio is very monotonous. It's very boring. It's the same thing, especially when you do cardio at a gym. You're sitting or standing on a stationary item. You're not going anywhere. There's no excitement in that. So cardio really isn't what I like to do. If I'm going to do cardio, I want it to be exciting, I want it to be fun, and I would want it to be maybe go outside and go for a walk, go somewhere new, go exploring, have some kind of adventure. So I really thought about it, and I was like, I'm bored with what I do. I don't like going to the gym. Going to the gym suddenly felt like a chore. Like it's something, okay, I do it because I do want to, I like fitness, and I like the idea of a balanced life between healthy eating and healthy living, but it wasn't my thing. But it was when I started weightlifting that suddenly, oh, this is fun. This is what I like to do. I started to actually look forward to going to the gym. Unlike before, it felt like something I had to do. And that goes back to never feel like you have to do anything. There were days where I would wake up and I just did not want to go to the gym. I just didn't have the energy or the motivation. And of course, I had that nagging voice inside my head, telling me that I had to, making me relive all the things I'd eaten the day before and how I needed to burn all that off. Or the voice would be telling me basically, well, if you don't go to the gym, you can't eat for 15 hours, you have to wait until the evening, you can't eat all day, that kind of thing. And eventually you just have to lay in bed and wait it out. And if you don't feel like going to the gym, I'm not going to the gym. And then there are the feelings of, if I don't go to the gym, I'm going to feel guilty for not going to the gym. But then if you go to the gym with those feelings, you're not going to get the most out of your workout. You're not 100% in the workout. It's part you, part the eating disorder. When you work out, it should be 100% you doing it because you're doing it for you. When you hear the eating disorder, whatever the eating disorder tells you, you do the opposite. I have come to a point in my recovery where I can push myself to improve because I want to improve for myself. I want to, beat my goals. I want to be better at what I'm doing. I want to be stronger. And it's not because the eating disorder is pushing me. It's because I'm pushing me, because I know that I can do better. I can push myself harder. And that's something that you have to get to. That's a point that you can challenge yourself to get to that point. It's not going to happen right away. I mean, for me, it's taken 2 years for me to get to the point where when I work out, I know that I'm working out. And the eating disorder, I think I've left it at home. It's just me working out. And I'm doing it because it's something that I love, and it's something that I want to get better at. And it's something that when I'm doing it, I feel like myself. And probably I feel that way because I'm leaving the eating disorder behind, and I'm saying, Nice knowing you. I'm moving forward with my life. You can stay behind. So the next set of tips and ideas that I have are maybe some exercises that you could do, how you should approach exercising when you're first starting out in recovery. And first, basically start very slow and start simple. Depending on what type of eating disorder you struggle with, your body is very weak. Actually, any eating disorder, your body is very weak, and it's weak from malnutrition and any negative behaviors that you engage in that are attributed to your eating disorder. It's left your body very weak, and you might feel like you are capable of doing things, but you need to start slow and work your way up. Like the first time I started lifting, I couldn't just start at like 50 pounds. I literally had to start at like 15 pounds because I knew like I am a weak person. I am skin and bones. I can't even lift 50 pounds. And one day, and I cannot wait for that day, I hope to be able to lift my own body weight, which would be amazing, but it's a slow process and you have to take it easy on yourself. Obviously, you don't want to rush into anything intense. Your body's not ready for it, and that can lead to serious injury. Plus, that's what the eating disorder wants you to do. Like I mentioned before, the whole point of recovery is doing the opposite of what the eating disorder wants you to do and finally being able to do what you want to do. When you're beginning your recovery journey, I always recommend maybe some light yoga and going for brief walks, but only doing those activities every couple of days to keep it light and not so intense. Despite how minimal or how light you think your workouts are, you need to always give yourself plenty of rest days when you're first starting out. In the beginning, maybe exercise every other day or possibly even every 3 days. You really have to train your body and your mind to be okay with not exercising. If you miss a day, you're going to be fine. The world is not going to end. Nothing bad is going to happen. You won't suddenly become fat. You're going to be okay. After doing light exercise for a while, if you start to feel like exercise is something that you really do enjoy, maybe increase the amount of walking you do. So maybe if you were doing 15 minutes, maybe now do 30. And maybe also increase, instead of doing it every 3 days, maybe move to every other day. As you progress through recovery and you're really focusing on figuring out what it is you want, you can start to branch out and really find the exercises that you want to do. Maybe you don't like walking and you'd rather go biking. Go biking. Maybe you want to get into something different like dance or swimming. Or in my case, at one time I was doing kickboxing, and that was a lot of fun because it was something different. So I always think it's important to give yourself lots of variety. Never limit yourself. The world of exercise is at your disposal. Try everything. If you feel that you don't really know what it is you like, try until you find the thing that sticks. Only increase the amount or the intensity of your exercise when you feel that you are not only at a place physically in your recovery, but most importantly, you're at a place mentally in your recovery where you know this change is to be beneficial for you, not to feed the eating disorder. Always remember that you are not returning to a place of obsession or dependency, meaning let exercise be one part of your life. Don't let it become your whole life. All right, that's what I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you learned something. If you did, please give this video a thumbs up. For more videos with tips about eating disorders and talking about diets and nutrition and everything like that, please subscribe. If you have your own tips, any questions, any comments, any criticisms, please leave a comment below, and I will see you next time. Bye.